Alex Barinka is used to opening up her TikTok and seeing it look more or less the same every day.
A little bit of Formula One content.
Ferrari drivers design the hardest F1 track.
A little bit of cooking content.
This dinner is quick, delicious, and you only need to buy 5 things to make it.
I'm a bit of a fashion junkie as well, so I get some kind of eclectic cowboy / edgy style in there.
LA girlies, I am looking for white cowboy boots for Coachella because fashion.
Alex is a technology and social media reporter here at Bloomberg, and she's a regular TikTok user. But lately, she's been spending her time looking at a newer feature in the app, TikTok Shop.
I see socks. I see utility items, a statue of a gnome using the restroom that somebody could put in their lawn.
TikTok Shop is the latest commercial venture from ByteDance Limited, the parent company that owns TikTok. It's TikTok's own marketplace, where users can find and buy products as they scroll. Content creators on TikTok have been trying to sell us things for years. But before TikTok Shop, you had to leave the app to buy the stuff elsewhere. Now, you can buy things directly through the app without ever leaving it. TikTok Shop is banking on using its powerful discovery algorithm to connect users with the products they think they're most likely to buy.
So if you're somebody who loves to watch dog training videos, you might see a video with a leash tagged in it.
And it's shooting for the moon.
We've reported, according to people familiar with the matter, that TikTok is aiming to sell $17.5 billion worth of goods in the U.S. in 2024. That is an ambitious, kind of audacious number, but it's also why we can start kind of confidently talking about TikTok in the same vein as Amazon.
Today on The Big Take, we'll take you inside the strategy behind TikTok Shop as it seeks to compete with bigger e-commerce rivals. To succeed, it might have to change the way we shop. I'm your host, Sarah Holder, and this is The Big Take from Bloomberg News. TikTok Shop got its start in Southeast Asia in 2021. It started attracting customers with something called live stream shopping.
Let's try them. This is literally the first thing I've tried on, and I'm obsessed. This is the coolest jumper ever.
Live stream shopping is exactly what it sounds like.
That's where people show up, they turn their camera on, they're hawking goods, they're selling things. They might sell something as small as a tube of lip gloss or as big as a house. It's something that in Asia has really taken off and users are really used to it.
But replicating the success of live stream shopping in other parts of the world hasn't been easy.
2 years ago, they set their sights on more Western markets. TikTok started in the UK, rolling out Shop, and they did it in a way that was similar to Southeast Asia. What they found was users there are just not willing to show up at the same time and buy from someone on a live video. They're much more used to the social media ad experience where they see something in their feed, they can click on it and buy it whenever they feel like.
So when TikTok Shop finally dropped in the US this past fall, the company tried something different.
So they took that insight from the UK market, and when they turned their sights on the US, which is kind of a gem in e-commerce world, they said, hey, let's actually split our strategy here.
They'd keep live streaming shopping as an option, but add the ability to tag products in all the other videos on your feed. The plan was to create an e-commerce experience unlike other social networks.
With Instagram, with Facebook, with YouTube, often what they did is they linked you out to another website to check out, and everything else was off-platform.
But TikTok wants you to shop within the app itself. And to do that, TikTok has been hiring different types of employees to work on this part of the business.
TikTok is starting to grow and cultivate this walled garden where they are hiring e-commerce people. They're hiring people who used to work for department stores and brands. They're hiring logistics people.
With this new feature, TikTok is hoping to tap into how people already use the app. Users already scroll to find new trends and products to buy. Influencers already post to sell stuff.
TikTok's been known kind of as a place where fashion fads and new products sell out. There's a hashtag called TikTok made me buy it that existed well before TikTok Shop. So that kind of user behavior is already there.
So if an influencer recommends and tags a new mascara, for example,
an influencer for a beauty product might make, lower than 10%, but they'll make a cut of that revenue.
And then if you watch the video and end up buying the product,
The merchant then would take home, maybe it's half, maybe it's a large majority chunk of the sales, and they would pocket that as revenue. And then TikTok takes their cut. So they've created this kind of three-legged stool of an ecosystem.
We spoke to one of the vendors that TikTok invited to start using TikTok Shop, Scott McIntosh.
I invented cell phone seat.
Here they are. New cell phone seat colors are in. Limited editions.
So I got the viral cell phone seat phone holder for your car here on TikTok Shop. I absolutely love it.
It's basically a cup holder that holds your cell phone. You can put it in your car. Scott used his savings to create the cell phone seat with help from some investors. And when Scott first started trying to use TikTok Shop, he says it wasn't a great experience.
I jumped through a lot of hoops to register for the shop because it was real glitchy because they were just launching it.
The learning curve seemed worth it, though, because of the huge boost in visibility he got.
So previously, you would see my video, you would find my link to my website and buy it on my website, whereas TikTok Shop made it direct path to purchase. Like, I don't have to click to another website, wait for that to load, find the product I want, enter my information. No, it was click the video button and that you can buy the product right there and you can use Apple Pay. It was like 2 clicks. So I was like, yeah, I want to be part of this. This is going to be great.
And because of the perks that TikTok was offering.
The fact that they were paying for the shipping, which they still do, by the way, is a huge part of my margin for this product. That was a huge incentive to put as much effort as I could into TikTok Shop.
The catch? Scott needed to make a bunch of videos to promote his items.
We got the shop going and TikTok was going great. And I met with a TikTok rep named Mandy. And she told me, okay, you have to go live on TikTok for at least, 30 minutes, but we recommend 2 hours every day. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, I'll try it. I was a believer in TikTok after what I'd seen.
But he ended up loving doing these live stream videos.
All of a sudden it started to work. I started seeing sales. People started buying the products. People started coming back to my show. They would ask me questions and they would give me ideas. And we only had the product in black. And somebody was like, hey, why don't you have other colors? And I was like, I don't know. I guess we could have other colors.
Scott getting hooked on live streaming is no coincidence. It's part of TikTok's longer-term strategy.
Going into 2024, we've seen them start to do what has really worked for them in Asia and push more into live stream and live stream shopping. You're also seeing them roll out live partnerships like with Peloton, who's going to stream fitness classes on the app live.
In this way, TikTok's ambition with TikTok Shop is twofold. They're hoping to capture a piece of people's daily e-commerce activity, but also to introduce new shopping habits to audiences in the US.
If there's one truism in the tech world, it's that changing user behavior is hard. And usually when it happens, those are the companies that go big.
After the break, we'll look into the advantages and challenges TikTok faces in this new world of online shopping. Hey, we're back. Before the break, we were hearing from tech and social media reporter Alex Barinka about how TikTok Shop, TikTok's latest venture in the e-commerce space, not only wants to beat the competition, but also wants to shape the way we shop. But with huge entrenched competitors like Amazon in the mix, can TikTok Shop really hit their sales targets? When it comes to having the edge among social media platforms, TikTok has time on their side.
TikTok has reached a moment where, on average in the US, the average US user is spending an hour and a half on the app.
That's roughly 30 to 40 hours per month.
That's almost double other social media apps like Instagram. That is a ton of time.
But Alex says just because people are spending their time there doesn't necessarily mean they'll shop there. Many users are still going to Amazon to actually buy the items they first saw on TikTok.
When you're asking somebody like TikTok is to open your pocketbook, to enter your credit card information, that's a different level of trust that, Amazon already has. They need to kind of start breaking that user behavior that people are so used to, where they see something and they say, hey, let me go, enter that search bar at Amazon, find it, check it out from a place that I know, and instead convince them to make that action on TikTok Shop.
Another challenge TikTok faces is that not every seller knows how to make videos that are engaging enough to sell their products.
If a video is not interesting, they're not going to show it to people. You can't just rely on having followers. So you have to not only show off the product in a way that people might want to buy it, but work it into videos that are entertaining, interesting, intriguing enough to also show up on people's feeds. And look, I am somebody who posts on TikTok. It's not easy.
And the initial incentives that first drew even inexperienced TikTok vendors like Scott to the platform are drying up. After all, TikTok Shop eventually needs to make a profit.
We have reported that they will raise their fees to more kind of industry standard levels. But for a lot of the different product categories, they're still lower than places like Amazon, certainly because they're trying to convince more people to sell on TikTok Shop.
TikTok Shop being such a priority for the company also risks alienating users on the app who are not as interested in buying stuff and just want to watch the usual, cooking videos they came for.
There will be, over the next 12 months, a really interesting line that TikTok will be walking, where it will be showing more shop content to people while also not showing them too much, that they feel like the whole app has just turned into one big ad roll for all of the products that are being sold on TikTok Shop.
As for how this is all going so far, Alex says there was some good news this past holiday season.
5 million new U.S. users buy something who hadn't bought something on TikTok Shop before.
And for Scott McIntosh, December was a knockout month in TikTok sales.
I mean, in a nutshell, it was unbelievable. We made our net revenue for the whole year in December, pretty much from TikTok.
He said that these results were a combination of ads, working alongside TikTok affiliates, and continuing to make videos. But to reach that goal of selling $17.5 billion worth of goods in the US in 2024, TikTok needs a lot more months like December, or it needs a lot more Scott McIntoshes. Thanks for listening to The Big Take from Bloomberg News. I'm Sarah Holder. This episode was produced by Adriana Tapia and Alex Sugiura. Special thanks to Spencer Soper and Alex Barinka for their reporting. It was edited by Caitlin Kenny. It was mixed by Alex Sugiura. It was fact-checked by Molly Nugent. Our senior producers are Jill Carley and Naomi Shaven. We get editorial direction from Elizabeth Ponso. Sage Bauman is our executive producer and head of podcasts. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow.